Okay, Harry Kane. Now, I have done some digging when I heard there was rumours about Liverpool being interested in Harry Kane. Matty's gone. I think Matty has to leave. But basically, where the rumours come from is Robert Gutman of the Anfield Wrap, who hosts their transfer show, basically said on his video that he has been told by an extremely good source close to Liverpool that Liverpool have expressed an interest in Harry Kane. Now, again, this isn't an unbelievable source that we know of, but it's somebody who doesn't say stuff unless he truly believes it. The Anfield Wrap are a very reputable Liverpool company, arguably one of the biggest. They work with the club. They have a lot of connections with the club. Also, Tino, with Haaland joining Manchester City, no one's really interested in him at the moment. Is it the perfect signing to match Manchester City's Erling Haaland, transfer?
Yes and no. If you want to just match them it's a very on the fence answer, I realise. If you want to match them in terms of money, in terms of someone who's going to give you guaranteed goals, who is one of the best centre forwards in the world out there, who's going to who pretty much guaranteed, if he stays in the Premier League, to break Alan Shearer's goal record, then you go out and sign him. You put in 100 million on the table, whatever they want, and you go, there's your money. Give me Harry Kane. The reasons why I don't think he'd work at Liverpool is he's 29. He's not getting any younger. You'd get 4, maybe 5 seasons out of him at a push. And admittedly, they'd be guaranteed goals. I think he changes the way we play too much. And I think we'd have to adapt our playing style to fit him into the squad to a certain extent. I'm not convinced.
Saying that, he's like, I don't agree with that. I think he suits our play style perfectly. He is a Roberto Firmino who scores goals.
He drops off, but I don't think he's got the work rate. He drops off to pick up the ball, to lay it off. I don't think he's got the attacking work rate to really push and press high, like how and not give the centre forwards that much space. I don't think he's got that in his locker, if I'm being perfectly honest. I just don't like him, if I'm being brutally honest.
That is the issue, isn't it?
Such a cocky arsehole.
Yeah, I have found that's the issue. No one is doubting his quality, Jay. I think if he comes into Liverpool, he guarantees us 35, 40 goals a season. Imagine him on the end of Trent crosses. He'd get 20 assists every season in the Premier League. It's just, he's such a dickhead, isn't he? Like, he's just an unlikable guy. And I don't like unlikable players at Liverpool. But if he's guaranteeing us 40 goals a season, imagine a front three, as Craig said here, of Diaz, Kane and Salah. It's a nice front three, to say the least, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be sensational. No, I disagree with Tino. I think 2-3 years ago, this sounds mad actually, but the younger Kane I don't think he fits into our system. I think the Kane now does. Like you've just said, where he drops off. He doesn't even play as a 9 anymore, ever. He plays as a 10 nearly, and let Son run in behind him, Lucas. The only thing about it is, it's basically what United done with Van Persie, only it cost you a lot more. But it's exactly the same type of transfer. He will bang 30 goals in for 2, maybe 3 years. But he cost a lot of money for that, and I just don't think that's something Liverpool would do. But I didn't think we'd speak to Mbappe, and it turns out we have. So maybe Liverpool are thinking, City have got Haaland. We've missed out on Mbappe. We need someone at that level to push against City. And the other thing is, when you're saying, does it compete with City? Yeah, short term. Haaland's going to be there 5, 8, 10 years if he wants to. And Harry Kane's a quick fix, 2 to 3 years, which, chances are he will win as another Premier League or Champions League, but I just don't see FSG doing it. But I do think it'd work if they did.
Would you take that short-term success like United did, like you mentioned with Van Persie? Would you take that short-term success if you're willing to forget about the future for now?
Yeah, because I think 80 million or 100 million over 3 seasons, you get that back and what you win. And then his shirt sales, if Kane signs, everyone's going to buy a Harry Kane shirt. I'm not asking what anyone says, they will. And then, like I say, if you win a Premier League, a Champions League, or one of each, then the 100 million pays for itself, or the 80 million, whatever it'd be. What's the pooch think?
No, what do you think, Penny? Shall we sign? Oh, thank you. Look, I think he perfectly. It's a great statement if we were to sign Harry Kane. It says we've needed a goal scorer as well. An out and out number 9. I'm wrapped up in headphones. We needed an out and out 9 who can score goals. He's not just an out and out 9. He can drop in deep and he can play. He's probably one of the best passers in the league, Harry Kane. He's up there, De Bruyne and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's a striker. And I don't know about the whole 2 or 3 years. Look at Lewandowski, look at Benzema. These are 34-year-olds. As much as we don't like Cristiano Ronaldo as well, he's what, 38, and he's
top goal scorer.
It's a fair point, lads. Yeah, it is. It's a very fair point.
James Milner is too. Players, the technology that we have, the recovery that the world has now. Soon enough, it's not. In the next 20 years, I don't think it's going to be a surprise if people peaking at 35, 36, because the longevity is there. We could see a world in the next 20 years where players are playing until they're 40 years old, because the technology and players are recovering a lot better. Yes, they're playing more games, but there's also so many new recovery methods being thought of every day. Who would you ask players 10 years ago if there would have been a gravity treadmill, and they would have been like, "Oh, what are you?" And a zero gravity treadmill, they'd be like, "Oh, what are you on about?" Like, look at all the work we're doing with Neuro 11 and neuroscientists. It's shaping up to be a future where players are going to be going into the 40s and still being great players, and we're seeing the start of that now with the likes of Benzema and Lewandowski and Cristiano Ronaldo all still at the top of the game despite the age. I would personally sign Kane. I think it would be a great statement, as I said, to Manchester City. I honestly think he'd be better than Haaland too. He's Premier League proven. He knows the game. The only issue with me is his ankle injury. I think if Klopp's system, if he is playing more of if you can get him to press, I think if anyone can get him to press, it's Jurgen Klopp. But that ankle injury might be an issue. But who knows? I think he'd be a great signing for us if we were. And I also think as well we don't have the best relationships with Tottenham after what we did to them with Luis Diaz. So that might be an issue, but you never know.
Charlie, if you had the option, I'm only asking, there's loads of comments on it there, and it's a good question for me myself because I'm not too sure. If you had the choice of Nunez or Kane, would you go for Kane?
Disrespectful question. Darwin Nunez is a million miles behind Harry Kane. People are being so reactionary because they saw him against us. He had a couple of good games against us. If you put what Harry Kane is doing now compared to, I know he's a lot older, but at Darwin Nunez's age, like Darwin Nunez has space to grow. I don't think Darwin Nunez will ever reach the heights of Harry Kane. Maybe trophy-wise he might, but performance-wise, as much as we hate it, Harry Kane will go down as one of, if not the best ever strikers in Premier League history.
He should get second in the goal scoring chart, really. He's got to be, really.
So it's, Darwin Nunez is a great player, and, age-wise, he's very good. He has a lot to work with. if you were offering me 80 million for Darwin Nunez or 100 million for Harry Kane, would not even be a question. I'd sign Harry Kane every single day of the week.
I'm with you on that one. 100% with you on that one. Darwin Nunez is a very, very talented young player, but if you're going out and you're looking for an out-and-out goal scorer who's guaranteed to score you 20, 25 plus goals a season, there's no one better than Harry Kane in the world. Unless we sign Lewandowski, which I don't think is going to happen.
Well, now the viewers know. No, you were all asking about Nunez, so I thought we've got to mention him.
Yeah. But I have to. We get Nunez comments every single time. We're not in a race for Darwin Nunez. I promise you. When it comes down to what club Darwin Nunez will join, I'll bet £1 million that it will not be Liverpool. He just doesn't fit Liverpool's system, unfortunately.
He did play very well against us.
Oh, he did.
I was at the game at Anfield and I was like, whew.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
And he reminds me a lot of Luis Suarez, but I just don't think he needs somebody to coach him there like a lot. And I think, if he goes to Man United, I think Erik ten Hag would do wonders with him, because he would build his team around Nunez. That's what he needs at the moment. He needs, everything going to him. At Liverpool, he wouldn't get that. And I think Harry Kane would know that he wouldn't get that, and Harry Kane would adapt. And honest to God, I think if Harry Kane joined, he would get, I think it guarantees them the golden boot for the next 3 years minimum, which would take him, I think, to 7 golden boots, if I'm not mistaken. Which
got 2 feet.
Yeah, which would be absolutely crazy. So, our thoughts on Harry Kane.